Hello YouTube, thought I'd come to you today with another video, seeing as I haven't done one in about 6 months. I think it's about 6 months anyway. It's something stupid like that. I'll do about one video on this channel every few months. Today I'm doing a sort of mini review, sort of rant video, because I've seen 3 films today. I had a sort of cinema day sesh. I didn't plan it, I just got really bored in the morning and thought I might as well loads of films that I haven't seen. I've still got to see Starting Into Darkness and Fast and Furious 6. I haven't seen those yet, so they should be fun. But today I saw Hangover Part 3, Epic and The Great Gatsby, all films that have been out in the past 2 weeks or so, I think. They were all in 2D. I think there's 3D versions of The Great Gatsby and Epic, but I didn't see those, so 2D versions. And they were all complete, utter shit. I really regret seeing them. It's possibly the worst cinema triple bill I've ever had. It's just, I'm trying to explain how crap they are, but we'll start off with The Great Gatsby, because that's the one I saw first in the morning. Great Gatsby, basically Baz Luhrmann, who directed Moulin Rouge and what's Shakespeare one, Romeo and Juliet, which is another version of coming out soon. Basically it's him just adapting the Great Gatsby book, which I've never read. I know that some people study it for English at GCSE and A level, but I never did, so I've virtually had no idea about any of the storyline or whatever when I went in. And to be honest, I don't really have that much idea when it come out. It was like 145 minutes long, I think, and it was boring as bloody hell. Literally the long stretches where nothing interesting happened. Does look very stylish, I will give it that, very visually appealing. Obviously it'll look great in high def, look great on Blu-ray or something when it comes out, but it's really a really boring film. The book is considered like a classic or something. I assume the book is better than the bloody film, I hope it is. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be reading the book anytime soon, because to be honest the film bored the hell out of me with its story. Leonardo DiCaprio is good, Tobey Maguire is good, all the acting is good really, but the dialogue, the storyline didn't really keep me interested. Very nearly fell asleep for most of that, so not recommended, The Great Gatsby. The second film that I went to see was Epic, in 2D, the Blue Sky Studios 20th Century Fox feature, which I like Blue Sky Studios. I like all the films previously, like all the Ice Age films, Oz and Here's a Who, Rio, Robots, all them, I like them. I think they're all very good, obviously not like amazing or anything, but they're all good at least. This one had a lot of potential. The teaser trailer that came out, I think it's the teaser trailer anyway, but the teaser trailer that was on the Ice Age 4 DVD before the menu, that was really good. I saw that and thought that was going to be great. Then more trailers started coming out and I sort of realised that it probably wasn't going to be great, but I at least thought it'd be passable. I thought I'd watch it for 2 hours or so just and then forget about it, but it'd be a good way of passing the time. It wasn't. It was possibly the worst animated film I've ever seen in the cinema. Genuinely shit. Basically, every single character in it has no personality to it whatsoever. All the voice actors sound bored. There's bloody comic relief characters. There's these 2 slugs in it, and they never leave the screen. They get the most screen time out of every single character in the film, and they just never leave. They never shut the fuck up. They just literally every single scene they're in it. Really emotional parts that could be really dark and emotional, they have to fucking tell a shit joke just to ruin it. They serve absolutely no purpose to the storyline. They don't actually do anything at any point in the film, so they're just there for pointless fucking comedy. For no reason at all. And even if they weren't there, the main characters were annoying enough without the bloody slugs to just piss me off even more. The animation is good, I'll give it that. The animation is very good. The music is pretty generic. It's overall, it's literally just them fucking slug characters that piss me off. It wouldn't be that bad if they weren't in it. They're literally the most annoying characters in any film I've ever seen. They're just, and again, as I said, there was so much potential in it. I was really looking forward to seeing it when I first saw the teaser trailer, but it just ended up being complete rubbish. It really wasn't good. It looked like it could be good in 3D. If you do have to go and see it, I'd probably go and see it in 3D. I saw it in 2D, and there are clearly bits where they just go like that on the screen. So go watch that in 3D. Well, don't watch it at all. But if you do have to go and see it, go and see it in 3D, because that's probably the only good thing about it. Plot's boring. Again, it's just I don't want to say anything about it because there's spoilers. But I really had quite a problem with the plot. The ending was a bit shit. I don't want to give spoilers, so I don't want to explain it, but yeah, not recommended. If you do want to go and see it because you like the previous films and you want to go and see this one, then wait for the DVD or download or something, because it's really not worth seeing in cinema. And the third and final film that I went to see, probably the most disappointing that I've ever seen, was Hangover Part 3. The final part, supposedly the final part, probably bloody make a fourth one because they're greedy bastards. But I really hope they don't make a fourth one because this one's completely shit. Basically, thankfully it does sort of have a different plot than the first two, because most people complained about Hangover Part 2 because it was the same plot basically, just in different parts of the world, and that was people's main complaint with Part 2. And when I saw Hangover Part 2, I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was a bit rehashed. It wasn't anywhere near as funny as the first one. I was a bit disappointed with it really, but after I came out seeing Hangover Part 3, I just wished that I'd just watched the fucking Part 2 again, because Hangover Part 3 is completely devoid of any humour in it whatsoever. There's literally not a single fucking scene in it that was remotely funny. In fact, no, I lied, there was one bit in it that was funny, and it was at the very end in the post-credit sequence, which doesn't count because most people in the cinema had left by that point, so they hadn't even seen the only funny part of the bloody film. But yeah, it was just. But the thing is, it's not like Movie 43 or Scary Movie 5, films that are trying to be funny but it's just not. Hangover Part 3 does not even try to be funny. It's like they couldn't be asked making a comedy film, and they just made a weird dark action thriller and tried to pass it off as a hangover film. Like if they didn't have the same actors in it, this would not be a hangover film at all. None of the characters have the same personalities. They're all fucked up. There's loads of car chases in it. There's car chase explosions, and they're all boring as hell. Fun, even if it was intended to be an action film or thriller. It's not a very good one. The fact that it isn't meant to be an action film, it's meant to be a fucking comedy, just puts the icing on the cake. It's just, I was really disappointed with it. I was looking forward to it because I thought, hey, different plots, different stuff, change it up a bit, it might be good. But no, it really wasn't. Don't go and see Hangover fucking Part 3. And it wasn't just me as well. There were about 30 people in the audience. I don't think one of them laughed once. I did not hear any laughs. There was no sound in the cinema whatsoever. So even if you're a fan of the first bloody Hangovers, don't go and see that. Really don't. It's so disappointing. Obviously that's just a bit of a rant video that I had there, because I was really not impressed with the films I saw today. But it's not all been bad. I have seen some good films. I've got some adult movie night on Friday. I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. Adult movie night. I saw loads of good films on there. I saw these three films. I finally got a copy of Django Unchained on Blu-ray, which is really good. If you haven't seen this, really do go and see this. Get a DVD copy by now, because it's probably the best film of the year that I've seen so far. In fact, definitely it is, and it's probably going to be the best. Probably going to be the best of the year as a whole, I think. So do go and see this. Really highly recommended. I also saw one of my old favourites, rewatched it recently, Robocop, the first one. This is a trilogy box set which comes with Robocop, Robocop 2 and Robocop 3. I watched the first one, again, probably the best action film of all time, probably my favourite film of all time. Really good. A lot of people haven't seen that. It's like an 80s sort of classic, really cult fandom, but some people haven't seen it and you're missing out if you haven't seen it. Also check out Robocop 2, which is a really good film. I haven't seen it in a few years, but I remember that being good. Do not check out Robocop 3 because that's complete rubbish. And the final film, which is one that you've probably not heard of, it's one from Korea. It's called Leafy Head into the Wild, which is an animated film from South Korea, as you can probably tell by the fact you can't read any of the text. This is a really good film, really took me by surprise. Someone recommended it to me on an animation forum, and it's really took me by surprise. It's not what you expect it is, not what you expect it to be from the standard standard sort of animated film formula. I did write a full review on that, which I'll post a link to in the comments or something, but really highly recommended if you're into animation films. This is the Korean animated, the Korean DVD release. It's not been released anywhere other than Korea, but you can find a subtitled copy online quite easily. And that's pretty much it. That's all the films I've got. I did get a copy of The Wizard on VHS, which is a really crap film, but it's really good if you're looking for like an 80s novelty thing. This is pretty much the quintessential 80s novelty. So it's, yeah, sort of mixture good and bad films that I've seen. I think it's probably the shortest video that I've done actually. It's only about 10 minutes long, and most of my videos usually about 40 minutes. But anyway, yeah, don't see any of the films that I went to see in the cinema. See Django Unchained, Robocop and Leafy. That's pretty much all I've got to say. See ya.